The Canary in the Economic Coal Mine, Why Black Women's Success Signals National Prosperity. Welcome to a conversation that will challenge everything you thought you knew about economic indicators, community resilience, and the true foundations of prosperity. I'm thrilled to share insights from my transformative dialogue with April Whitson-Freeman, a visionary entrepreneur, mother of four, and one of the most profound change makers I've encountered in my journey. April isn't just building a business, she's reconstructing the very architecture of care in our communities. After experiencing the devastating loss of her son last year, she channeled her grief into founding Earth Angels Home Care 24/7, an enterprise that doesn't just provide services, but creates an ecosystem where caregivers are valued, supported, and empowered. In a sector notorious for burnout and undercompensation, April has dared to imagine something revolutionary. What if care workers were actually cared for? But April's vision extends far beyond her business. She's tackling self esteem, safe relationships, substance abuse prevention, spirituality, mental health, and goal setting in our communities, particularly for young people navigating a world that often seems designed for their failure rather than their flourishing. What struck me most powerfully in our conversation was an insight that fundamentally reframes how we should understand economic patterns in America. April articulated something both startling and self evident once you hear it. Black women's economic experiences function as an early warning system for the entire economy. Let that sink in. When Black women face rising unemployment, when their businesses struggle to access capital, when their wages stagnate, these aren't isolated community issues. They're the first tremors of seismic economic shifts that will eventually rock everyone's world. Black women are, quite literally, the canaries in our economic coal mine. This insight inverts conventional economic thinking. We've been trained to watch the Dow Jones, to analyze GDP growth, to track housing starts. But what if the most sensitive and accurate economic indicators have been hiding in plain sight? What if the financial health of Black women, historically the most economically vulnerable demographic in America, actually provides the clearest window into our collective economic future? Consider the evidence. Before the 2008 financial crisis fully erupted, Black women were already experiencing dramatic increases in foreclosures and job losses. Before the pandemic decimated our economy, Black women owned businesses were already reporting significant revenue challenges. These weren't coincidences, they were warnings we chose to ignore. When companies begin cost cutting measures, who typically face the first round of layoffs? When inflation erodes purchasing power, whose budgets are stretched beyond breaking first? When healthcare becomes less accessible, who bears the heaviest burden? Time and again, it's Black women who experience these pressures first and most acutely. April's insight isn't just academically interesting, it's actionable intelligence with profound implications. If policymakers, economists, and business leaders paid closer attention to the economic realities of Black women, they might catch downturns earlier, implement more effective interventions, and create more sustainable growth for everyone. This isn't just about equity, though that would be reason enough. It's about economic intelligence and foresight that benefits us all. But April's wisdom extends far beyond macroeconomic theory. She shared three key insights that can transform how we approach both personal and community prosperity. First, economic resilience in our communities depends fundamentally on recognizing and supporting the unique challenges Black women face. When we invest in Black women's professional and entrepreneurial success, we uplift entire families and communities. This isn't speculation. It's a pattern we see repeatedly in successful community revitalization efforts. For every dollar invested in Black women's entrepreneurship, the ripple effects extend to children's education, family stability, and neighborhood development. Second, building businesses and careers that prioritize mental health, fair pay, and supportive environments isn't just about individual well being, it's a strategic imperative to prevent burnout, self medication, depression, and to ensure long term community growth. This approach represents a profound shift from viewing wellness as a luxury to recognizing it as essential infrastructure for sustainable prosperity. Third, networking, mentorship, and continuous learning are vital tools for Black professionals and entrepreneurs. Seeking out supportive spaces and conferences can be transformative for both personal and business growth. In a world that often isolates us, intentional community building becomes not just comforting, but revolutionary. These insights aren't just theoretical. April shared powerful real world examples that demonstrate these principles in action. Consider Leslie Frello's journey with the wine concierge. Leslie transitioned from a traditional 9 to 5 job to launching an e commerce platform featuring wines from women and minority producers. She faced significant challenges, navigating uncertainty, confronting the lack of industry representation, and taking on the financial risks of leaving stable employment. But through determination and strategic thinking, she sought out COVID relief funding, built a mission driven brand, and leveraged mentorship and networking to create something extraordinary. The result? A successful business that not only supports underrepresented brands, but has launched a wine club and hosts events that foster community. Leslie's dissatisfaction with her job and desire to fill a market niche led her to develop a side hustle before making it her full time pursuit. She secured funding, built a loyal customer base, and became a champion for minority owned wine brands. In doing so, she helped diversify the wine industry and inspired other Black women to pursue entrepreneurship. Leslie's story embodies what happens when we create pathways for Black women to transform their visions into viable businesses. The ripple effects extend far beyond her individual success to reshape an entire industry. April's own venture, Earth Angels Home Care 24/7, offers another powerful example. As a mother of four who experienced the devastating loss of her son, April created her business to provide a supportive work environment for caregivers, emphasizing fair pay, mental health resources, and career growth opportunities. The home care industry has long been plagued by high burnout rates, underpaid staff, and a lack of supportive resources. April's solution, offering higher hourly wages, investing in staff development, and prioritizing mental health and work life balance. The outcomes speak volumes: reduced turnover, improved employee well being, and a new standard for care in the community. Motivated by personal loss and a desire to uplift others, April leveraged her experiences to design a business that puts people first. She's built a thriving enterprise, empowered employees, and improved care quality for clients. Most importantly, she's demonstrated that community focused business models can address systemic issues like burnout and depression while achieving sustainable growth. This approach represents a fundamental shift in how we think about business success. Instead of extracting value from workers until they burn out and then replacing them, a sadly common practice, April shows that investing in people's well being creates more sustainable, profitable operations. It's not charity, it's smart business with a soul. Another powerful example is the Black Women's Expo, BWE Next, a 3 day event dedicated to Black female entrepreneurs that offers workshops, seminars, and a marketplace to support small businesses. It addresses head on the limited access to resources, mentorship, and visibility that many Black women entrepreneurs faced. By creating a platform for education, networking, and business promotion, BU Week Next has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs gain exposure, build networks, and access new business opportunities. Recognizing the lack of dedicated spaces for Black women in business, Organizers designed BW Next to fill that gap. It has become a cornerstone event, driving economic empowerment and collaboration while fostering a supportive ecosystem that helps Black women overcome barriers and scale their businesses. What these examples reveal is that when we create environments specifically designed for Black women to thrive professionally, everyone benefits. The businesses serve their communities better. The employees experience greater well being and financial stability. The ripple effects strengthen families and neighborhoods. This isn't just about individual success stories, it's about reimagining our entire approach to economic development. This brings us back to April's core insight. Black women's economic experiences function as an early warning system for the broader economy. When we create systems that support Black women's professional success, we're not just addressing historical inequities, we're building more resilient economic structures for everyone. So I challenge you today, what would our economy look like if we centered the experiences of those who have been most marginalized? What if, instead of treating Black women's economic challenges as niche concerns, we recognize them as crucial indicators of systemic health? What if we built businesses and policies that prioritize the well being of those who have traditionally been most vulnerable to economic shocks? I believe we would create not just more equitable outcomes, but more sustainable prosperity for all. We would catch economic downturns earlier and respond more effectively. We would build businesses that don't burn through human capital, but nurture it instead. We would create communities where people don't just survive, but truly thrive. This vision isn't utopian, it's pragmatic. The examples we've explored demonstrate that this approach works. It creates successful businesses, empowered employees, and stronger communities. It represents a profound shift from viewing economic success as a zero sum game to recognizing that true prosperity must be shared to be sustainable. The choice is yours. Will you continue to look only at traditional economic indicators while ignoring the canaries in the coal mine? Or will you begin to recognize that the economic health of Black women is not a special interest issue, but a vital sign of our collective future? Today, I urge you to become an economic first responder, invest in Black women's businesses, mentor young Black female professionals, advocate for policies that support Black women's economic security. Create workplaces where Black women can thrive, not just survive. Because when Black women rise, we all rise. When they prosper, we all prosper. And when we finally build an economy that works for those who have historically been most vulnerable, we will have built an economy that truly works for everyone. The canary in the coal mine isn't just warning us of danger, she's showing us the way forward. The question is, are we finally ready to listen?